Okay. Well, hey, let's give a big wave to everyone. Can everyone see each other? Yeah. All right. How about a high five, virtual high five, all the way up?
On the sides?
Sides. Uh, well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Very excited for our Spotlight series featured program on gamification, and we'll get more into that in just a minute. Just want to give you a quick overview of the various different Spotlight series programs. And the goal with this Spotlight series overall is to provide a variety of experiences for us to consider different options and ways for us to connect with each other and our business teams, with events that we're creating. And there's so many different ways that we can explore how to connect with each other and create some new virtual experiences. And this is our way of doing that. We've got some amazing experts that are all part of this whole experience. And if you tuned in last week, we started our program off with mastering the virtual world. And that was with our producer today, Mr. John Lucy. Yeah, good job, John. And we went through a variety of different techniques and tools and concepts around how to create engaging and effective virtual meetings, from using the platforms to using systems to using external tools and whatnot. And that was a great program for that, available for business teams and further follow-up programs. On Thursday last week, we had an amazing guest, Mr. Robert Strong, our magician, comedian, comedy magician out of San Francisco. And he presented magic and virtual events. And so his whole program was all about using magic and creating these various different programs to provide entertainment, from the magic entertainment to a whole variety of different magicians to add into your virtual programs. And so he also shared with us a variety of different ways you can use magic for team building events. So that was a great one. So today we have our gaming program, which I'll get back to in just a minute. But next week, just to give you a little heads up on what we have next week, on Tuesday and Thursday, all these programs are at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. We have well, actually, this Thursday, today's Tuesday. So this Thursday, we have Mr. Jim Kane and experiential team building online. So Jim Kane, if you don't know who Jim Kane, he is a master facilitator. He literally wrote the book on experiential learning and team building, teamwork and team play. And it's all about how do you take these team building initiatives that a lot of us have experienced in live events and bringing them virtually. So we not only have written books about how to transition this into the virtual world, but we're going to get to experience icebreakers, team initiatives, and all those concepts that we like to talk about in problem solving and trust and team development this coming Thursday. Next week, we have a featured event on give back charity events, and we're going to feature Matt Campana and the Hands of Gratitude for that program. But that's all about if you're creating a fundraiser, a charity event. Here are a variety of different things that you can think about for using those different options in the virtual world. And then Thursday of next week, we round out our Spotlight series with the Adventure Spotlights. One of the most things I'm super excited about. It's all about taking the concept of adventure with some amazing presenters, and how do you apply the concept of adventure to how we're navigating the business world and life and sport. And we have an incredible special guest, Charlie Engel. This guy ran across the Sahara Desert 2 marathons a day for 110 days straight, all while raising over $6 million with and producing a movie with Matt Damon for clean drinking water. So we're going to interview him, and that's going to be the feature for that program. Now, as we get back into today, very excited about the gamification of our program today and what we have in store for you. And as we go into this, what I'd like you to do is just type into the chat room. We all typed in some of our favorite games in that Mentimeter slide, lots of different types of games, but type a word into the chat room that describes why you loved that particular game. So whatever the game was, like, what was it about it that you loved? Was it the connection? Was it the creativity? Was it the just the fun? Was it the competition? Maybe just type right into that chat and let's see some of those words. Yeah, time spent with family, Of course, we got a competition, the physicality of it. Yeah, gaining some insights. All these words that we're thinking about and we're typing in here really today is about kind of bringing some of that stuff back, and how do we bring that into the corporate realm and or just the teaming realm and the gamification with our virtual events. So today we're going to be going through a summary of some of those program options, and we're going to look at the importance of virtual team games and why gaming works for teams and why it's so important right now more than ever. So we're going to get to experience a little bit of some of the featured programs, the Who Kidnapped the Boss, Scavenger from Home, and some of the battle trivia. And you're actually going to get to experience a little bit of what it's like to play some of these games. And then at the end, we'll have our Q&A and answer any questions that we have about how we can apply and customize and even combine some of these experiences with other virtual events or even hybrid events. And that leads me to the introduction to Mr. Warren Glenn. And Warren has been part of the Grand Dynamics team as producing our virtual events.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Before we go out there, let's do a little something to connect the group together.
All right. That's right.
And what we want to do is we want to spend a little time connecting, because if you haven't heard the phrase that's out there a lot now, connection before content. And we're going to send you guys out to we're going to send you out to breakout rooms. And in those breakout rooms, first of all, can everybody hear me okay? I want to make sure that we're talking okay here.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Lots of beautiful thumbs up. Thank you very much. We're going to send you out to a breakout room. There'll be 5 people in the room. Your job is going to be to create a name for your room. We're switching to a breakout room to a team. And you guys have to find a name for it. And instead of just throwing out just randomly, we want it to be based on something uncommon that you all have in common. So, and you only have 4 minutes to get it done.
Yeah, and think about that commonality, perhaps being the games that you talked about as a childhood game. That could be one way, or just whatever you want to do it, but a very short amount of time. So
yeah. So you guys ready to go out there? Groups of 5 or so?
How much time are we going to have, John?
4 minutes. Thumbs up if you're ready to go. You ready to go?
Meet new people, create a new team game. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Breakout rooms.
See you out there. Let me know if you're having any troubles.
Yeah. Awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, too short.
So real quick, we're going to do it. Yeah, it's too short. A little bit of urgency there. I want to go through the different rooms. And if you can, so if somebody who is with Jacqueline and Caitlin and Ken or Carrie, can you give me your guy, what team name you guys came up with? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And so that was, we'll call that, you guys are room 1, just so you know. How are we going to change that name? So put room 1 and then the team name. If you were with Cal, Courtney, Callie, Peg, you guys are room 2. Alexa, stop. That's my timing. So room 2 is with Cal, Courtney, Kelly, Peg. Yeah, happy campers. Room 3, that's Carlos, Janelle's phone, Mary, Sandy. You guys are room 3. What is your team name? Room 4, Christina, Julie, Mary. What was team 4's name? That's Christina, Julie, Mary. And team 5, room 5, John, Laura, Michelle, and Tim. What team name did you guys come up with?
Cognitition.
Cognitition. Room 6, Beth, Elizabeth, Lisa. Wow, confusing in that room. That's room 6. What name did you guys come up with? And room 7, Alexandria, Brandon, Laura. What did you guys come up with for room 7? And that's all the rooms. Hopefully you guys had a good time just getting out there. And with that, I'm going to toss it back over to Tim to move us through what's next.
Okay, well, let's give a little wave and thank you for John for getting us rolling here. And again, thanks for the reminder here for getting us connected, which is certainly an important part of any virtual event. You want to remind a variety of different ways to get people connected. But we have an exciting program with Mr. Warren Glenn here today. And just a little bit of a background about Warren. Warren, other than being just an unbelievably nice, friendly, funny, awesome guy, he's the game master and producer for Grand Dynamics events, virtually, and a lot of our live events. If you've ever experienced a Grand Dynamics event live, like one of our amazing races, we often use a mobile phone app to capture photos and videos and actually direct people around different locations around the country and wherever the program's taking place, and then produce videos. If you happen to check out our Corona Times virtual adventure, that was all a mobile phone app-based program, and we also do gaming programs with browsers and whatnot. So just to give you a vote of confidence, Warren, full-time gamer and amazing facilitator for all these online virtual events, and just really excited to be partnered with him over the last many years. So I will stop right there and turn it over to Mr. Warren Glenn. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. Or you can clap, you can do the hand wave. All right.
Nice.
Okay. Warren, there you go, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Tim. And I apologize in advance. I haven't performed for presidents. I do not know American, and I definitely can't run across North America. So I don't know how I got into this spotlight series, but virtual times calls for it, seems like. So just to give you some confidence, I am the co-founder of Social Scavenger, and we've been running in-person scavenger hunts, amazing races around resorts, cities, destinations for almost 10 years. So we do know something about team games that connect people and unite people. Now on March 9th, 2020, I got a lovely email from the St. Patrick's Festival in Dublin announcing the cancellation of the parade, the music festival, the festive village, and the treasure hunt. Guess which part we were? And it's not my singing. So, over the next 2 to 3 weeks, every single game we had in the books or our clients had in the books were canceled. So anyone else here have a grim tale from March? Any grim tales out there? You don't need to share them. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Good for most of you. Anyways, that's the end of the sad tale. Since then, we adapted our game and our platform, Social Scavenger. We've hosted over 300 original games on our platform, and over 1,000 games have been played overall in the past few months. So we are not experts. We have not hit our 10,000 hours. Hopefully, we won't hit our 10,000 hours. But in the meantime, I am here to share some of what we learned in our new form, Social Scavenger virtual events. Now, we haven't done all the games. I'm going to talk about specific games today. We've played lots of games as a team. We've been invited to other games. So we're happy to answer questions you might have later on any other games that aren't the ones I'm about to talk about. But in terms of why gaming works for teams, especially now, games have always worked. Been a great way to connect teams. We know play brings out another side of people and gives you the chance to connect on a different level other than what do you do. In our games, we've discovered that even one challenge in a 2-hour scavenger hunt can unite an entire team. People will get into one specific challenge, create an amazing video, and they'll have that as something to hold always. It also must be said that people are competitive. We are often told, well, Warren, our group's pretty competitive. And we're like, are they really? Turns out people are competitive by nature. So quick question, who's heard the word I need to engage or connect my team better virtually? Coworker, client, anyone looking for the magical engage and connect? Okay, good news. We actually do that. When people say we're tired of Zoom calls, you've got pros like John who can tell you how to make your Zoom calls more fun. Zoom calls are meetings. Meetings are not designed to be fun. You can make a meeting more engaging. You can make a meeting more fun. But the bottom line is when you're hosting an hour-long meeting with your team, you're not there for all fun and games. You're there to run a meeting. The problem is with everything learned about Zoom fatigue and how do you actually keep people engaged, that is not for us. We go with dedicated fun. 100% fun is what we're here to talk about. Of course, people hijacked our games and do 15-minute town halls at the start of them and try to put trivia about when they're launching their Q4 products into our games, which we can do. So in terms of the audience we deal with, the people who've played our games are mostly people who are looking to connect, and engage with their groups, from intern programs to replacing retreats to holiday parties for the entire company, and most importantly for groups who can't travel anymore. those senior teams who can't travel and get together and are looking for something to do that isn't a full day conference. Our games are about connection moments, getting to know you, fun and team building, engagement, competition, all of that good stuff. Okay, so today we're gonna actually do a little bit of gaming. There's lots of virtual games you can play out there. We played a game the other day called, Svet, what's that game called? It was called Talk Less, Sign More. So this is how you do applause, which we didn't know before then. It's an ASL game. So there's tons of amazing games out there. Happy to give you guys any answers to questions you might have about other games. But today we're going to look at escape style games, puzzle games that keep people thinking, Scavenger Hunt from Home. That Scavenger Hunt from Home game is a game we built uniquely to creating connecting moments online with your team. And team trivia and battle trivia. We run different styles of trivia based on different goals. We'll look at those. If time, we'll even play a quick one of those. So we're going to do some challenges from all of our games. The one thing we're not going to do today is we're not going to use our software. We have an app for those of you who have phones, which is all of you. We also have a web app, which means we can just pull up a website and log in. We're going to skip the onboarding process and getting people all the stories and backgrounders into games because we just don't have the time. That said, you're still going to experience some of the types of challenges we do. Okay, so if you're ready, give me the virtual hands. Okay, Svet, show them what excited is in American Sign Language. Yeah, we learned that. We learned that. We did a game. It was pretty fun. If anyone wants to know, that's how you do it. It's just really fun. It's just fun to do. Kind of makes you smile. Okay, so how do we start our games? All our games start the same way, and you already did it. We send people to breakout rooms in teams, and we have them discuss something uncommon, in common. It could be around a theme, something a company is trying to communicate, but generally uncommon, in common, come up with a team name. Why do we do that? When we used to start our games without that, competitive people said, I don't care what our name. Oh, you named our team name Warren's team? Great, let's go. Let's play. Let's play. No connection. The other thing we realized, that I'd say to Svetlana or Caitlin, two lovely people from our team are on this call, we'd say, hey, how come team 6 hasn't started? It's 5 minutes into the game. Oh my gosh. So they're not in the technology. They're not logged in. We'd go visit them in their room and they're sitting there discussing their team name. And we'd be like, okay, guys, this is a competition. Put in anything. So now we do a nice connection moment. We give people a few minutes. They go in. You had that little experience. Now, when we start the game, everyone can get serious and focus in on the game. So the different games we do is escape style. So escape style, who's been to an escape room? Anyone been to an escape room? Okay, this isn't like that. Who's finished an escape room? Like gotten 100% done? Less people. Okay, our escape rooms aren't like that. Our escape room, everyone gets done. They don't all win, they don't all get done together, but everyone has the same experience. And the way we accomplish that is we give people hints. We try to eliminate any frustration that comes with classic games like an escape room, where at the end, Laura's like, oh, we got 80% of the way. And Caitlin's like, we got 20% of the way. My team sucks. We try to avoid that. We want everyone to get through the game, feel good. You just don't quite feel quite as good as Laura's team who won the game. So people ask, can we customize our game? The answer is yes, we customize all of our games. Tim told me to be careful which version of this I bring up because I've got some scary versions of our first escape game called Who Kidnapped the Boss? So Who Kidnapped the Boss, if you can see my screen, Courtney, our friend over at Otis Elevators, lets me share this, and her staff. It was Who Kidnapped Courtney Dornell. So we like to customize games so people feel themselves in the game, so they can really be part of the game. It's our most extreme version of doing it. We don't rewrite an escape game every time, but we visually put people in the game. We produce a nice trailer video for them so they can use that, because another question is, how do I promote my game? How do I get people to come to my game? Make your game seem fun and a little bit mysterious. Once we actually go and get started into our escape game, we have hosts and MCs and facilitators, and we explain it all with music and send people in, and then they play. So when you play an escape game, you're focused on puzzles, riddles, photos, and videos. We are not going to do the photos and videos part today. We'll do a couple of those later in the scavenger hunt. But we like to put photos and videos into the game to break it up, so it's not constant puzzle work. It is a lot of teamwork. It's a lot of talking together. So what I want to do right now is just get you guys to experience what it's like working with a group, trying to do a little mini escape game. Because we're not going to have you log into the software, just to avoid the onboarding and all of that, there's going to be a bit of honor system here. So I'm going to share the game with you in the chat as a PDF. Download that. You don't have to download it. Download it because you probably want to. When you get sent into your room, one person only has to open it and share it with the group. You could all work on it on your own and be by yourself, but that's not going to be very teamy. We don't want you to do that. Normally when you use our software, you don't have a PDF, but today a PDF is replacing our software. The other thing is we don't want you to get stuck. So work on puzzle 1. If you need a hint, just hit the button that says ask host for help. Myself, Caitlin, Svet will come in, we'll give you a hint. The hint costs you 10 points. Every challenge is worth 50. Want another hint? We'll come back in, 10 more points. And so on and so forth. There's only 3 hints. If you don't get it after 3 hints, we're just gonna give it to you. You're gonna get it after 3 hints. Okay, so we're gonna do this quick game. You're gonna see as a team how many points you can accumulate. Work on them one by one if you don't mind. If you jump around, we probably won't know, but definitely have someone screen share if you're comfortable with that. And instead of dropping the document that says answers, I'm gonna
I dropped it in, Warren.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay, so Svet dropped it in. So before we send you out, you need to download it and start with challenge 1. And do not hesitate to ask for any help. We'll come in and give you a hint and take away 10 points. And let's see how you guys do. The clock is ticking. There is 10 minutes for this. John, set your timer as soon as you send people out.
Download.
Do we have everyone back?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now, normally at this point in the game, we let you know that the game's not over yet. Normally you do 20 challenges, you do some photo challenges, you do a video challenge, and you have to figure out the final riddle of who kidnapped the person using logic. I can tell you that corporate America is illogical. About 20% of the people figure it out, and there's only 5 options, and most of them figure it out using the wrong logic. We've stopped asking, how did you figure it out? Because we've realized they're mostly guessing. So who kidnapped the boss is a little trickier. We have easier versions, harder versions, etc. Normally bring people back, and now we do bonus round voting. How that works is the lovely facilitators who you might have seen for a minute, Svet or Caitlin or myself or anyone would have come in and had you do a photo. You would now get to vote on which room did that photo best. That gives us a chance to share some of the stuff we would have done together. So for example, they would have come in and said, okay, we're gonna do the fox and the marmot challenge. Half of you are foxes, half of you are marmots. They would take the photo and they would leave. At this point, we would go through the different teams and we would see the Captain Americas, we would see the Sergio Savers. We would go through and see how everyone else did it. And then we would vote on which team did it best just to give them more points. Then we'd show you a video of all the photos and videos you took. And then we would announce the winners and any of the custom information. We do encourage all our team games to have custom information about the people. One of my favorite questions, who was once a closet organizer on the Oprah Winfrey Show? So people give you weird things and then everyone's like, what? Who was on the Oprah Winfrey Show? They're all excited, they're shouting out, etc. So they're fun things to do when you're working with companies to have little interesting connection moments. In terms of this game, to see who won, as we know, we had to kind of use a hack version. We didn't use our software. So we'll take a quick look and see how you guys did. And challenge 1, shout it out if you know the answer.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, okay. Challenge 2.
X marks the spot.
Marks the spot.
X marks the spot. Did everyone know that those were all marks? Anyone have to use the hint? Most people don't know those are all marks. Challenge 3, did you figure that one out?
Finally.
52314.
No,
13549.
That was
no,
14593.
no.
15492.
What was that last one?
Room 2.
Room 2. Tell them why room 2. What are Russian dolls?
Oh, it's backwards.
Room 2. Tell them what your logic was with the Russian dolls.
You start with the biggest to smallest, and we went with the dots on it.
Biggest to smallest. If you've
Ah.
ever opened those Russian dolls or whatever else they're called, you start biggest to smallest. A hint would have gotten you in the actual software. You would have typed in your wrong answer. It would have said incorrect. Try again. You probably then would have used a hint. And the final challenge, is this bus going to the left or to the right? Shout it out.
Left.
Left.
Left. Was that just a guess? Brandon, did you guys say left?
Yes, we said left and we totally guessed.
Did anyone say left and with a reason?
Yes, because it's on the left side of the page.
Because it's on the left side of the page.
It was
Fun
moving.
guess.
Because you
Yeah.
don't
Anyone
see
else?
the door.
There it is. Sandy, hit the main part.
Oh.
I did.
Door.
My partner did, but
Team 3's partner. There's no door. Kids look at a bus. They're like, hey, where's the door? Must be on the other side. Adults look at it and they're like, this is ridiculous. There's no way to tell. There are hints in the game. When we used to say it was a multiple choice, left, right, or not enough information, half the team said not enough information. So we removed that as an option. We tell you there is enough information. In the actual app, when you play it, obviously it's a little smoother because you can choose to use a hint. You can still call in people for help, but right when you're in the game, as you can see now from my screen, when I'm in there sharing my screen, we'd be working on this puzzle together. If we guess the answer to this is rouge, just because it's 5 letters and there's an E that's red, we wouldn't get it. We would use a hint. We want to use a hint for this many points. Sure. What's the color? What's the letter? And someone would figure out the answer is ready. When they would get it right, it would take them back in and through the software with a timer at the top and all that fun stuff. So the software obviously makes it a lot easier to run with big groups. We've done this game with groups over 200 people. We've done it with groups as small as 8. We've done it across many time zones, etc. Anyways, super fun game, super customizable. And that's an escape style game. We have another one called Great Scott, where it goes through various decades with a fun little introduction from Doc himself. And that's another fun game that tests your kind of puzzle knowledge of different decades. So that's Who Kidnapped the Boss. We played that. It took us a little bit, well, it didn't take longer than we thought. When we do the scavenger hunt from home, Tim's done a scavenger hunt with us. It's great, the coronavirus. What do we call it now, Tim? I don't know if we still call it that.
Corona Times Virtual Adventure.
Corona Times Virtual Adventure, an amazing game for employees, families, go play it, competition, tournament. It's designed to be played out there, get away from this screen. Team games are designed to be played in here. How do we connect with people in the scavenger hunt? We do challenges that they have to do together. We send you to breakout rooms. One person's got our app and there's a list of challenges. The team can pick which challenges do we want to do. They're all worth points. We're trying to win this thing. All the challenges make you discuss something, for the most part, make you do something, show something off, where you're going to learn about people. You're not collecting award-winning photos and videos because literally someone is taking a photo of a screen. So an example of one of those challenges would be band camp. So let's get everyone on a screen here. Someone will have to go on screen too, Svet. And one question would be, what is the last instrument you played? Some people might pull it out, but we will air band it. And Svet's gonna get our team photo doing it. The last instrument you played, give me the air band. For me, it's a piano, it's a keyboard. You can see from my posture. Tim, I don't know what he's doing. He's got an instrument there. Michelle, a pianist as well. Laura's plays the recorder, or no, is that a flute? That's a flute, yeah. Sandy, no instrument. Okay, all right. Peg, what are you playing over there?
I think she's
Peg's
eating a
on-
sandwich.
Peg's on mute eating a sandwich.
Ocarina, I'm trying. It's my new, one of my new challenges.
A new challenge, okay.
Well,
amazing.
do we all want to try unmuting and making the sound of the instrument?
Yes, sure.
We can
do
try.
that. We'll do
Let's try
that
it.
on,
Everyone
we'll do that
unmute.
on 3, 2, 1.
And
Okay, Carlos is going, he's going down over there. All right. So, oh, there we go. Look at medicine. Amazing. Playing Tinkling the Ivories over there for us. So that's what'll happen in a group. Someone will go grab their instrument, they'll play, people will stop. It'll be fun connection moment. Another challenge we love asking is what book do at least 50% of the people in the room, usually we say 75% in the room, have in common? Because we can't shout it all out, hit the chat with a book that you think it's in your house that the rest of us have. No Bible, no dictionary. No Bible, no dictionary. What book do you think at least 50% of people have in here? I'm going to give you, oh, Harry Potter. Yep. That's cookbook, too general. Maybe if you're like Joy of Cooking, 50 Shades of Grey. Sadly, that is another common one. To Kill a Mockingbird, amazing, because people like to say things like Moby Dick and To Kill a Mockingbird. Nobody has those books. You're making it up. The common denominator is people read Jack Reacher and they read books that are just for entertainment. They don't all read Malcolm Gladwell. Battleground, The Alchemist, oh, great book. Now we're just on like great books. So 5 people you mean have another great book. So again, we do discussion challenges. People pull it out, they take a terrible photo of it. We use all that to make a fun slideshow at the end, wrap it all together. We do bonus rounds in all of our games, etc. We're not going to do the video race. We don't have time for it. Sorry, Svet. What we do, one of our favorite challenges, we have people pass something. So pass your water. So the beauty is, I don't know where, for me, Tim is below me. So if I've got to pass down, I'm like, Tim, water's coming from above. Grab the water, reach up. Yeah, and then Tim would have a water glass and he'd pull it down. And then Tim, below you is Elizabeth Fresquez. Pass it down. Elizabeth, reach up and grab that water. Yeah, and you got to merge with water. And then that would go to Kelly Watson. See, we're all on different screens for each other. So Elizabeth, oh, nice. Kelly and Kelly to medicine. Medicine, you got to get that last glass of water. So there it is. Nice. For me, that was perfect. For the rest of you, it made no sense. So in your room, it's a fun thing to do. We do it with like company swag, things we're trying to like, hey, we sent you these fun things. Grab your Morgan Stanley Corona mask and we're going to do a fun challenge with it. So Scavenger Hunt from Home's all about connections. And then finally, our trivia games are Trivia Battle and Team Trivia. Team Trivia, we send you out, you work together 12 minutes at a time going through challenges. The reason we do that is it gets people talking. It is not things you can Google. It doesn't say who's the host of the Tonight Show and you can just Google it. It's stuff you have to work through together. So it's trivia, quizzical, puzzles, etc. And that's a great team game. People want to do bar trivia often, not a good team game. We can do that on Kahoot. We can do that on CrowdPurr. Those are great one-on-one games. We host them for people all the time who want to add them to a program. If you're doing a long program and you want to add in some more fun, custom, we did a Halloween trivia game today, and for the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing those. They're not team games. They're fun. We have hosts. We make fun of people. We joke around with them. CrowdPurr lets you create teams. Downside is the weak link brings you down. Not a team game. Svetlana's trivia is not her forte. She would hate it if I made her play that version of the game. So that's the great thing about the escape games, the trivia games, the scavenger hunts, where they're team games. You're really working together as a group, which is what all of our games try to facilitate, even though we do push games where we're just trying to entertain you. So those are kind of the games we've been running. We found most successful. Our escape game looked zero like what it looks like today. When we first launched it, we thought it was 90 minutes. It was like 4 hours. We thought it was pretty easy. It was the world's hardest game ever. We were like, oh, so we made a promo video, 35 challenges, 50 minutes. We're like, ooh, 35 challenges, 4 hours. So you have to refine these things. People need to feel like they're making progress. It's not too hard. The scavenger hunt has more challenges that you can do. Why? Because if a team's like, oh, we don't feel comfortable with this challenge, skip it, move on, keep going. And that's kind of the crust of our games. Everyone feels good, but everyone doesn't win, because honestly, people do want a winner, which we're well aware of. So that's some of our experience with virtual games. If you have questions, we're going to send you info on all the games, how they work, how many people can play them. anything, if you wanted to book a game, if you just want tips, feel free to reach out. We're happy to tell you, hey, if you do a big game with teams in breakout rooms, have them change their own name to the team name they're on. As John could tell you, trying to assign everyone to breakout rooms stinks. If you say, hey, everyone on team 1, put a 1 before your name like Sandy did team 3, man, that makes it a lot easier pushing people out into your team games. At any rate, that's what I kind of wanted to go through and the amount of time I have to do it. So I didn't leave enough time probably for chatting, but any questions we've got in there, John?
So we have a couple Q&A questions queued up here. And then again, we'll stay on a little bit longer after the end of the hour. We got about 5 minutes. And if you have any questions, this is the time to put them into the chat or unmute. You can raise your hand and we can ask. But so a couple questions right off the bat. What is the ideal duration for the games? And is there a group size that's too small or too big?
Ideal duration for escape games is 90 minutes. The first thing people say is like, oh, 90 minutes is too long. Then we say, okay, we'll do a game for you in 60 minutes. And they say, oh man, I wish that had been longer. So we've basically stopped booking 90 or 60-minute escape games. 75 minutes is the shortest we do. And it's not just because we have to shorten the number of challenges. It's because it takes a little bit to get into the groove of it until you start to feel like, hey, I know what I'm doing here. I'm pretty good at this. You don't want people to be left with, man, I'm not very good at this. So we say 90 minutes. It only takes us 75 because we have all kinds of bonus stuff we do around the edges. We'll take up to the 90. The other games we can do in 60 minutes. Though Svet has told me religiously the scavenger hunt should be at least 75 because people get done doing these challenges and they're like, that's it? We don't have more time. So clients will say to us, can we do it in 60 minutes? And we'll say, yes, but it should be 75 to 90. Trivia we can do easily in 60.
Right.
Group size,
more
than 8. I mean, we have minimum fees, which anyone would, but just to make sure you at least have a couple of teams. And then max, when we get over 150, we start to say, okay, well, let's come up with a couple of backup plans here. Let's have our second Zoom account ready. If this happens, let's have extra few facilitators. Human error starts to come in more and more. 150 and left, no problem. Up to 300, still pretty good. You go over 300, you go to 500 people and try to split them into 50 breakout rooms. You think Zoom works? It doesn't. Zoom starts glitching all over the place. It's just literally stuck. And you're like, hey, why are you still here, John? John's like, I don't know. I'm not doing anything. So Zoom lies to you when they say 50 breakout rooms, 1,000 people. They mean 50 breakout rooms if you have like 250 people. If you have 500 people, they mean 30 breakout rooms. So it's a bit of a balance. But yeah, less than 250 is ideal. 150 is awesome. Anything between 10 and 150.
So one other media question, how do you, will the recording be available? Yes, we'll be making the recording available following the event. We'll send a follow-up email on that. And then how to book these various different programs. If you send an email to info@granddynamics.com, then we can connect with you on all the different programs and schedule a call and discuss which programs are the right ones for your event. Another question is, can you combine these games with other virtual events and types of programs that you're offering? Yes, so we can provide, add some magic, we can add some entertainment, we can add, combine a different MCs and custom gaming. So lots of different custom programs that we can theme around whatever event that you want to have, or focus it in on the team building aspects or whatever the event might warrant. So
yeah, and we're going to be working with Tim as an example. I was at the spotlight of Robert, and so through Tim, we're going to be booking a holiday event where we've got the comedian magic, we've got Who Kidnapped Santa, different game we're running for those of you who aren't worried about. It's not a lot of Christmas in there, but Santa is the one who was kidnapped, and the suspects are familiar characters. Tim will have us the magician for us as well. We'll have an ugly sweater contest. We'll flow it through a 3-hour event. Some companies send out the mixology and all that. I have my own fears of mixology, only that it costs like $100 per person. So don't do it. Make people buy their own booze.
What other questions? We got, a minute left or so, and then we'll stay on a little bit longer for those that want to chat a little bit more. But Any other burning questions you think might other folks might have? Just raise your hand. Anyone have a question or a comment?
Yeah,
Start with the
shout.
questions. Start with the questions. What about this? Before we wrap up, if you could just type into the chat one thing you're taking away from today's events, like just share us a comment, a little bit of feedback for Warren and for the team, just to know how we did, or one takeaway that you, if you could type that into the chat, that would be cool. And yeah. Raise your hand if you had a little bit of fun today. Anyone have fun during the event today? Yeah.
Oh, reminds me of Gish. Nice.
Oh,
I know
all
what Gish
right.
is.
Yeah. Nice.
Not a lot of people know what Gish is, but I appreciate that, Mary.
Very nice. Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Well, so we'll just say, thanks for joining everyone. And again, on Thursday, make sure you tune in at 1 o'clock again, same time. We have a master, Jim Kane, going to be presenting experiential team building initiatives. You're going to learn new icebreakers, new game initiatives, variety of different types of programs that you can use for team building events, large scale networking events, and a variety of different fun and experiences from one of the masters of our time, Mr. Jim Kane, that will be working together for that program. And then the following week, we have charity give back events, and then of course the adventure spotlight. So for the next few weeks, and at any point that you're interested in a program, customize any of these different gaming platforms from Magic, just please reach out to us, info@grandinamix.com, for your holiday party, for launching into the new year, to support some of the content and messaging. We love customizing and getting creative with our events and programs. And our goal obviously is to support all the types of virtual engagement that you want to create. And as we start moving back into the real world of live events, we're going to find that these virtual events can complement and serve as a hybrid. So the more we can focus on how to make these great now, the more it's going to be great for us later as we move into these hybrid events as well too. So that's our goal: supporting you in our programs and creating some engaging virtual experiences. So once again, thank you to Mr. Warren. Let's give Warren a big wave of applause. And again, we'll stick around for comments that you'd like to share with us. And thanks again for coming, everyone. And until next time, live your adventure. Let's create some awesome experiences. And here we go. All right. Thanks, everybody.